introduce this to the second action item, which is a recommendation to add an additional line crew and equipment. Yeah?
Yes, so we've been looking at this for quite a while about our staffing needs in the line crew area. And we've been experiencing increasing growth, increasing applications, and then looking at where we've been and where we're going. So in order to meet our current and future workload needs, we are recommending adding an additional line crew and purchasing the equipment to meet these needs. This would involve a foreman and 2 line crew, which is a bucket truck, a digger derrick, and a foreman truck. Staffing in the line crew has, or in the operations area, has remained the same since the early 80s. So if we were able to get staffing for half the year, by the time we go out, it'd be about $250,000 for staff and about $725,000 for equipment, with a useful life of 15 years. So the recommendation is to take that $975,000 out of reserves for that. In subsequent years, we're looking at doing a bond refinancing to pay for, and that would help pay for the staffing costs of the line crew. So we know that the interest rate is very favorable right now. We've been in contact with our financial advisor, and so we'll either do it this year or we'll do it next year. Next year is a little more favorable in interest savings to us, but we have, of course, interest rate risk by waiting. But we'll be making and come back with you the pros and cons to that decision. So that will help the budget in that respect, and that's how we could pay for this additional line crew. But as we know, in the 80s, our records go back to 1980s for line staff, and we had 19 linemen in 1980, and we still have 19 today. And we have a lot more responsibilities, compliance areas with NESC requirements for poles. And we also have 34,000 customers. So that has grown by quite a bit. So we have many more things for customer paid work that's happening, and we have unfunded work as well for compliance. So every year we're tracking this, and it's just time. So, yeah, go ahead.
So, just out of curiosity, Annette, does anyone know what our meter count was in 1980, early 80s?
I don't have that off the top of my head.
Probably was around 25,000.
Yeah, probably 19,000 is because that was our customers. So usually customers and meters relate.
Okay.
Yeah.
I guess I didn't catch that.
Yeah, so 19,019 linemen.
Okay.
Yeah, so today we have 34,000 customers.
Almost double.
Yeah, almost double. Right. And so we've not increased lineman counts with that. What we have done, of course, is increased our technology to help with that, as also good equipment. We have great equipment, thanks to you, as well as good technology, and so that has helped all of these things. But when it comes right down to it, we need, linemen to put the poles in the ground and a lot more equipment on those poles. We have a lot of pole contacts on those poles, and we have a lot of things that need to be changed out on those poles. So,
Bruce, did you have a question?
Well, I'm trying to do the math here.
yeah,
You said from 1990 to date, we have not changed the number of linemen.
1980,
1980.
correct.
That's 40 years.
That's right. Could be 50. We don't have records before then.
How much has internal staff increased in that period of time?
Yeah, it has increased, but
Would you make a wag?
no, I'm not going to make. I don't have that number right there. Yeah, but we have had, issues and things as well.
Linda, do you have a question?
So I just wanted to make a comment about, I think it's a little easier life for the linemen these days with all those nice boom trucks as opposed
That's
to
right.
in the 1980s. I think they were still scrambling up and down the poles quite a bit.
Yes.
And it reminded me of something that I think actually happened in the 70s when there was a little bit of a hullabaloo, and you could probably go back and find an article in the journal when one of the PUD linemen and what would have been Pacific Northwest Bell worker at that time, I think had a few beers one night and decided to race each other up poles on Railroad Avenue.
Yes.
I think I remember which lineman that was back in the day, but I won't name it.
Yes.
I think the PUD one though.
Okay.
If anybody remembers this name in Old Shelton history, the phone company guy was a guy named Greg Shimmick, and his dad was a dentist here for many, many years. But just a little bit of history.
Yeah, and we have lots of safety standards now. We have a lot of rules. So,
I don't see that now.
yeah, and of course, you know, we've gotten the high safety awards from 2 different places, APPA and NWPPA, so, yeah, we're right up in there, but thanks to the
And
equipment.
that, we've gone a couple of years without a rate increase.
Correct.
And that's going to catch up to us someday.
Yes, it will, yeah. Mhm.
And what would be your projected impact down to a percentage of rate
Mhm.
that this would have upon our customers?
Yes, I'm projecting that this specific area will not have an impact because we're going to refinance our debt. By everything remaining the same, we will have a lower interest rate. So that's why we'll be able to accommodate this.
And how soon will we get the lower interest rate?
We're looking at that, whether we'll do it this year or we're going to hold out and do it next year. Next year will be a better savings for us.
How big of a savings do you anticipate?
Well, it could be about $450,000 a year, and which is a pretty close to what this crew cost will be a year. So that's why it's really, it's a win-win.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I had a comment in support of this. What I see is that this is the ability to have good financial projections and to utilize our financial position to leverage services for our customers. So this is very wise use of reserves. It's a wise use of advanced planning to move forward, particularly in regards to the refunding of long-term debt. So thank you, Annette. I appreciate it. And I'm very much in favor of this, especially in light that it doesn't have specific budget impacts and that savings can be utilized to pay for this. A very, very nice way to go. And I see in our packet there's a substantial amount of information in regards to applications for new services, system maintenance, fiber goods, city, county, and state of Washington requirements, pole attachment inspection programs, forest land fire risk mitigation, and grid modernization. All those things need work and attention in the field by real people.
Right,
And
yes.
so those will be met
Mhm.
with our action here. So there's no motion. Is there any more discussion on this? I see there's no motion at this point. Would anybody like to make a motion?
I'd be happy to make a motion. Do we need a motion for this?
Yeah, motion to
Yeah, to add an additional line crew and the supporting equipment.
Mhm.
It's been moved and seconded. Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, move to vote. All those in favor of recommendation to add an additional line crew and equipment signify by saying aye.